I just watched Superman for the second time. I just experienced Peak for the second time. And now it is time to talk about my top 5 favorite moments from Superman. There's spoilers in this video, so you've been warned. Okay, I know I said I have a top 5, but I have to give an honorable mention to Mr. Terrific's scene fighting over 5 years' time. This is your classic James Gunn action scene. You have the really fun music with the really brutal action. In this scene, oh, it's terrific. Good joke there. I really hope that we get to see more Mr. Terrific in the future. This is a really fun scene. Number 5 on the list is Lex Luthor's Russian roulette scene. This is one of the first moments that someone actually dies in this movie, and that gives the scene so much more weight. You really get to see how evil and villainous Lex Luthor is as a character. 4, I'm giving it to Clark Kent's first scene in the Daily Planet, where he gets his front page debut on the Daily Planet. This scene is the only scene that we get to see Clark Kent in, and I honestly wish that there's a little bit more of him in this film. But you get to see the dynamic between him, Perry, Lois, Jimmy, and it's really fun. I also really like to see the difference between how David Cornsweet portrays Clark Kent and Superman. You really get to see his Juilliard acting training. Okay, number 3, this isn't the same still from the actual scene, but it's the monologue of Lex Luthor and Superman at the very end. Lex Luthor gives this really envious dialogue that really shows off his true character, and then Superman gives off this really human and hopeful monologue, and you really get to see the contrast between the two characters, and it shows why exactly Lex Luthor is Superman's arch nemesis. Now, the first time I watched this scene, I didn't appreciate it the same way, but the second time I watched it, the Pa Kent and Superman scene on the Kansas farm is honestly one of the best scenes of this entire film. First of all, you get to see Krypto running around with the cows, but it's a conversation that these two have about being proud of each other and what it's like to be a father. That's really what matters in this scene. I also really like in this scene, compared to all the rest of the Superman movies, that this Superman really feels like a kid that grew up in Kansas and doesn't feel like an alien, and that's really refreshing to see. Number 1 is the interview between Clark and Lois. The first thing is, this scene is 12 minutes long. It takes up 10% of the entire film, and it is just these two talking the entire time. There's no action, there's nothing like that, but this is a tense scene that is honestly probably one of my favorite scenes ever in a comic book film. First of all, you're seeing Superman going to see Clark Kent, and then he goes up, he's like, Miss Lane. And it is one of the coolest things that I have seen. The scene gradually builds, and you really get to see the dynamic and the charisma and the chemistry between these two characters. Do you agree with my list? Let me know in the comments down below, along with what your favorite scene is from Superman, and subscribe and follow Stewie Reviews for much more content like this.